Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mic Check 2. Yay! My name is Rachel, and we are joined with the lovely co-host,
Ajai.
And Sean.
And today we are going to be discussing vision at St. Hope Foundation, and we are joined by the lovely Dr. Chandra. So I will allow her to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I am Dr. Chandra, the Director of Specialty Services for St. Hope Foundation. I overlook the optometry, podiatry, and nutrition department. I also serve as an optometrist. I joined in 2022.
Ooh,
So glad to have you.
She's new to the team, but a heavy title.
I know.
A heavy hitter.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. So I know it's often probably asked, but why is it important to get a yearly eye exam? Are there any risks for missing this appointment by chance?
So I think it's always important to check your eye health. What I always tell my patients is that the eyes are the window to your body. If you have something going on in your body, diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, or even more than that, we can usually detect it in your eyes. It's a good way to make sure that you're keeping up with your normal routine health, and it shows in your eyes. Aside from that, I also think, you might feel like you're seeing really, really well, but when you come in to get your eyes checked, you'll realize, oh, wait, I'm actually not seeing as well as I thought. So it's also a good way to check that.
Absolutely, because soon as that big chart go up there, you like, is that a P or a D?
It looks like
I think it's a D. And it's not. It's definitely a B.
Loud
And
and
I
raw.
go through the struggle every year because, as you can tell, I actually got my glasses from St. Hope. And so, yes, they do have frames, and these are
The little cute ones, too. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I like
A little
those.
Armani frame.
Those are cute.
Thank you.
So, Sean, you did mention that you got your frames from St. Hope Foundation. We love that. I do have a question, though. Let's say you got the wrong prescription in your glasses or your contacts. Like, what would you recommend somebody doing? Like Aja said, you're looking at the chart.
Still
You're
can't
just
see.
answering because you want to get out the chair, and then you put your contacts on and your glasses, and it's just completely wrong.
So I always tell our patients to come back and see me. Even if you got your prescription somewhere else, if you have headaches, eye strain, or you just think it's blurry, definitely come back in to see your eye care provider because we'll take a look at your prescription and make sure it's good to go. Also, you never know. It could be like adjustments that are needed on the glasses if they need to be raised or lowered. So we'll definitely make sure that your questions or concerns are answered.
Okay. So don't just be wearing those
Don't
glasses.
squint.
We're happy to see you back again.
Good.
Okay, so can you give us some tips on how we can keep our eyes healthy?
Yes. So for tips, I think the best tip in our current society, since we're all on the computer, we're looking at our phone all the time, is the 20-20-20 rule. So every 20 minutes that you're looking at a screen, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. That's going to help reduce eye strain and headaches. That's a really good tip.
Oh, yeah.
Write that down.
Right.
'Cause I did not know that.
I never knew that.
Because I'm tuned in. I'm just locked in like, oh, let's get it done.
And then, like,
So-
your eyes do be hurting after that. So that makes sense.
So, like me staring at my TV screen when I'm playing PlayStation for like 4 hours at a time.
Take a break, and look far away. Look out the window. Look at some greenery. Look at some sunlight.
Oh, Sean, we know. You 4 hours straight? Oh, my God. Your poor eyes.
Sometimes it's last night was a battle.
I think another good tip also is to wear sunglasses. I think we underestimate how much it can really help protect us from the UV rays. It helps with this extra growth on your eyes called a pterygium. It can also help prevent the growth of cataracts, which, the further we get in life, we can't really avoid it. So we can do the best we can to help it from growing.
Oh.
Oh, that's me. I do not like sunglasses.
And speaking of cataracts, from something I got out of CDC, they did say once, excuse me, for Americans over the age of 40, cataracts are more likely to appear. Is there any kind of tips or suggestions that could be put out there to help prevent cataracts, or is that going to be part of your yearly checkup?
That's part of the yearly checkup, and it's age-related, so there's no way of avoiding it. It is what it is. The best we can do is to help prevent it growing, and sunglasses would be a great way to go with that.
Okay.
Okay, so for y'all just having this conversation over here, what is cataracts? Let's talk about what cataracts is.
Just in case some of our viewers don't know, yes.
So cataracts the best way to explain it is there's a lens in your eye. You're born with it clear most of the time unless you have a genetic condition that can lead to it, cataracts being in your eyes early on. Otherwise, age-related would be the lens itself is made from protein. A good way to think of it is like an egg. And when you have heat added to it or UV rays added to it, it gets a more of a milky color or pacified color. And so that's what cataracts are. And because you're now not looking throughout a clear lens, it becomes more difficult to see.
Okay.
Educate me, because I did not know. I'm just like, cataracts.
Okay, we're just having a whole sidebar conversation about cataracts. Y'all are like, what?
So you did mention it could be genetics. So is bad vision just naturally like genetics, or,
I think that's a great question. There are definitely conditions that can be genetic. Glaucoma is one of them, and that's something we screen for on our annual eye exams. If you have a family history of it, then we're going to look at you more thoroughly and screen for you with glaucoma. Another thing is myopia control. That's kind of a hot topic on the market right now. And with parents who wear these prescriptions and have these high prescriptions early in their life, their children are more likely to as well. So we want to get them in for an eye exam early in their life. And if they need myopia control or prevention of that progression, then we would recommend that.
I have a question I just thought about. Okay, so say for parents who have kids, I was dumb, but for people who have children, what might be some signs that your kid might need glasses or that they're struggling to see?
Oh, that's a good.
That's definitely a great question. A lot of children that are actually struggling in school with their homework and, activities, it's actually related to them not having prescription glasses. So that's why schools do screening, but still it's not consistent or all the time. So we absolutely recommend bringing in your children for a routine eye exam, even just baseline.
That's a good point, because I started wearing glasses in 2nd grade, and I know it's my daddy's fault because he cannot see.
Your parents for everything.
I do. He cannot see, but they knew in school. They were like, "Something ain't right." She just.
And see, my mama caught me doing this to the TV all the time. And she was like, "You need glasses." I was like, "I can see. I can see."
And that's the other reason I don't like sunglasses, because I wore glasses my whole life, so I want to avoid anything on my face, but.
You might need that.
Yeah, I'm going to go get some nice sunglasses now, because I don't want anything else to happen to my eyes to avoid all issues.
So going with vision genetics, what can also be considered an astigmatism? And is that genetic, and how does that work?
Yeah, so myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism are all forms of correction your eye needs based off the curvature of your eye. So for astigmatism, the eye is just curved differently. I always explain it like your eye is shaped more like an American football compared to a basketball. So it's a little bit more oval. This can cause headaches, especially while reading, blurry or slanted vision. For treatment, we usually recommend glasses, contact lenses, or LASIK if the patient is able to do LASIK.
Yeah, because I know when I did my eye exam, the last doctor told me I had an astigmatism in my left eye. So that's always like, I always forget exactly what it is. I just know it's bad and that I'm losing sight faster in my left eye than my right one.
Okay, so it's actually not as bad as patients make it out to be. It's just the way your prescription's set up is a good way to think about it. Your eye is just shaped a little bit differently. So the prescription it needs has astigmatism in it.
Okay, I'm just curious.
And so do we have special contacts at St. Hope for the astigmatism?
We do. We actually just extended out our contact lens brands. So we have Johnson & Johnson, Alcon. We always had Cooper Vision. So from Johnson & Johnson, actually, they have some of the best contacts out there for astigmatism, the Hydrolux. And it's created differently in the sense that, so astigmatism has an axis it's on. Mm-hmm. And for the Johnson & Johnson contact lens, it is more blink activated. So the axis moves with the way you blink. Compared to other contacts, it's a weighted contact lens. So that's how they keep the axis where it's supposed to be. So that's supposed to be phenomenal for patients who have astigmatism.
Like me. I'm setting my appointment next week.
Yes.
I'm coming to see you.
We're going to come and see her. So, to be diagnosed with astigmatism, do you have to be dilated? Or are there any do's and don'ts that you should practice before you get dilated?
So for astigmatism, it's just like myopia or hyperopia. You're going to get your refraction, and based off the prescription in your eye, we'll be able to determine what the right glasses or prescription is for contact lenses.
Okay, so why do they dilate? What are you looking for when you're
So
doing
for dilation, we're looking at the health of the back of your eyes. This is when we're looking for diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. Diabetes, causes us leaky blood vessels. So we want to make sure that the back of your eye isn't bleeding. It can also cause growth of unhealthy blood vessels. So we're checking that out as well. Hypertension, you can get like lack of oxygen in certain parts of your eyes. You're going to get these thinning of the blood vessels. They're super twiny. High cholesterol, you can see the plaques in the blood vessels in the back of your eye. So it's kind of fun because sometimes I'll be with a patient and, their chart won't have previous things documented. I'll be like, do you have hypertension? And they're like, how did you know that? How did you know that? I was like, your eyes are telling me everything right now.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so I know it's like a big stereotype not to drive after dilation, or is it just like a window period for that? So do you recommend to dilate for each exam, or?
Yes, we absolutely recommend dilation for our routine care at St. Hope Foundation because we're looking at more of a systemic approach. That's why I loved coming to St. Hope Foundation. It's a multi-specialty. You get the psychiatry, you get your primary care, you get dentistry. So from that approach, we do recommend dilation. And for do's and don'ts, your vision in your eyes will be very sensitive to light. So that's why we give dilation glasses and sunglasses so the sun doesn't, make you very uncomfortable. And in terms of driving, we do recommend that you bring someone to help you drive, especially if you have a higher prescription.
Okay, so quick question. Can you walk us through like a basic exam? Like if somebody just was like, hey, I want to get a vision exam, what can they kind of expect? Or
Sure, absolutely. So you're going to come in and you're going to have one of our wonderful techs greet you. They're going to do a little bit of pre-testing, which is the autorefraction. That just gets a rough estimate of the prescription in your eye. We check your eye pressure. That's a screening test for glaucoma and good to evaluate in general for your ocular health. Then they bring you back to me, and that's when I check your pupils, I check your eye muscles if they're working correctly. I'm checking your side vision, your peripheral vision. I'm checking your VAs. That's how good your vision is with correction at distance and near. Then we're going to go straight into refracting you. That's when I get your actual prescription. So the first step with the tech was just a rough estimate. Here's when we see how much myopia, hyperopia, or astigmatism you have. You could also have presbyopia, which is, later on in life, you need a little bit more help reading. After that part's set, you're pretty much ready for your dilated exam, and that's when we look at the front of your eyes, the front of your ocular health. That's kind of where dry eye testing comes in. And then we also look at the back of your eye with your dilation. We're looking at your optic nerve and stuff like that.
Okay, so you just mentioned dry eye, and I recently had LASIK. Well, not recently, a few years ago, and I've noticed an increase of eye dryness. So is that what that exam includes? Is that what you're looking at when you mention that?
So a common side effect to LASIK is dry eyes. So we definitely love our LASIK patients to come back in and look at the testing. Basically, your tear film is made of 3 layers: oil, water, and mucus. And we go through a series of tests to determine where the instability in your tear film is coming from. It could be that you're not producing enough tears. It could be that the oil isn't necessarily the healthiest, or that there's inflammation on the front of your eye. And that's what we go through to get a good treatment and management plan for you.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not the tears, because I can cry a lot.
So that's where the confusion comes from. It's actually interesting. Patients will come in all the time and say, oh, I don't have dry eyes. My eyes are just watery all the time. But that's actually a symptom of dry eyes. Because your eyes are so dry, you're overproducing tears.
Oh, wow.
I thought I was just emotional. So I'm going to tell I just overproduce tears, okay?
Yeah.
I have dry eyes.
I just have dry eyes.
I just have dry eyes. I'm not upset, I promise. That's very funny.
So after your eye exam, I wanted to go into the things that we do offer from St. Hope. So we do have a set of already done frames. We have designer frames, regular frames, and then you also have different contacts. When it comes to contacts, because I'll wear some myself, I don't just wear glasses like a nerd all day. Do you have like different types of contacts? Like I know I use like the 1-a-days, but you have like 3-month, 90 day, how does that work?
So overall, we are pushing our patients to go into dailies more because they're healthier for your eyes. You get more oxygen. There's less.
I switched to a daily.
You did? What daily are you in?
I think it's AccuView dailies. Yeah,
That's nice.
After I had a terrible eye infection.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we need to talk about proper hygiene.
So that's why we don't. It's not that we don't recommend it. Absolutely, will fit patients who are comfortable in monthlies or biweeklies. But I recommend a daily lenses is where I like to start off because you don't want to get those eye infections, and people sleep in their lenses all the time, and you really shouldn't be doing that. Sean, you're looking at me like, what do you mean? So yes, dailies are the way to go, but we do offer biweeklies and monthly as well. Like I discussed before, Johnson & Johnson, the Hydrolux is great for astigmatism. Alkaline Dailies Total 30 is my favorite for dry eye patients. It's personally what I wear too, so I really, really like that one. And then Cooper Vision Biofinity is a great multifocal. That seems to be the one that's fitting very well. Another good note is every eye is different. Every eye fits a contact different. So when I do the contact lens fitting, I'm looking for tear exchange, like are tears moving properly across your eyes? Is it centered well? Is it too loose? Is it too tight? So it could be just what fits best for your eye.
Perfect.
And for those curious about contacts, try it out. It's actually not that bad. I was scared at first. And it took me about an hour to do the initial contacts. I couldn't get the lens to stay in my eye, and it kept popping out.
You were scared.
I was, and then I kept poking myself in the eye. But I do encourage contacts and glasses, at least for me, in my behalf. So.
Yes, and we do contact lens training as well, insertion and removal. So we're not going to throw you in blind.
Literally.
Pun intended.
And so for the people who do like the bi-weekly or the monthly, should you be storing those a certain type of way or proper etiquette and hygiene for those?
Yes, definitely. You want to wash your hands whenever you put your contacts on and off. That's definitely good hygiene. And all the time. Just for your contacts. Make sure your lens case is actually clean if you're doing the bi-weekly and the monthly. And take out your contacts every night. You don't want to get an infection. You don't want to get an ulcer. And store it properly in your clean case with solution.
Change out your solution.
Yes.
Hashtag solution.
I do have a quick question just about the glasses that we cover. Do we offer any type of specific add-ons? I know a lot of people are into the blue light protection. Sure. And, for me, when I was younger, I was rough on my glasses and they were scratched up. Yes. So it was pretty much back to my regular vision. So is it anything else that we cover that may be able to help them keep them?
So this quarter, as well as adding new contacts, we added a lot of new lens treatments, which is really, really exciting. We have some of the best technology to offer our patients. One of my personal favorites is the iZen lens. It's a digital lens. So think about all these people, even maybe including yourself. I personally do have iZen. You're staring at the computer all day. Your eyes get tired. You get fatigued, right? So this iZen gives a power that helps accommodate for that computer vision and helps release the strain on your eyes. It also has blue light built into it, so that helps a lot. It's just a very, very good lens that we offer. We also offer a great progressive lens. This is for our presbyopic patients who need glasses for far away and up close. The transition is perfect for it. It's very clear. It's very crisp. We have a new anti-reflective that just came out from Crizal, so that's fantastic. We have a lot of great options to offer.
Now, I'm sure we have a lot of people out there okay, y'all have a lot of things that y'all offer, but let's talk about the important thing here, the price. Because a lot of people know that frames are not cheap. Let's be honest. What insurances do you guys accept for the most part? We pretty much accept all the major vision insurances, and do we offer any kind of payment plans for patients that may not have everything up front? Can we try to break that down?
Sure. So I did try to create different sort of packages where if you wanted the best of the best, you can have that for your transitions, your progressives. Then we have a mid-range opportunity where it's still great vision, for a progressive or an anti-reflective, but it might not be the premier. And then at the end of the day, there are other options as well if, it just doesn't fit into your budget.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're competitive.
We are competitive.
Competitive rates.
I like to give options.
So now we know what all St. Hope offers, but how do we get to see you? Do we need a referral? Can we just walk right in, or we just call?
So you do have to set up an account. You can do that online, or you can call to do that, and you can see me right away. They'll schedule you an appointment.
Nice. Y'all
Like
heard
I
that
said,
first.
let me get mine first because I'm coming next week.
And I'm going to be right after you. I'm going
to put you
My
in
eyes
some
are a
new
little dry.
dailies.
Yes.
My little dry eyes. I'm coming.
I think I want to go back to glasses, to be honest.
Come on.
I felt like I was cute in mine, but then,
Get your nice little plastic frame.
I can never go back to glasses.
as long as I could get anti-reflective, because something about that, my computer screen,
The iZen would be so good for you. You would love it.
y'all hear that? She gonna hook me up.
I'm traumatized. I had the Coke bottle glasses. Like, mines were...
How bad
They-
could you not see?
It was like negative... I don't even know how I got approved for LASIK. It was like -8.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Okay, and thank y'all for joining our podcast. No, but it was like a -8. It was really bad. I told you my dad. It was my father. That's why I was like, this has to be genetic.
So see, myopia control would have been great for you as a kid because that would have helped stop the progression
Yeah.
of it and like
Where
the
were
growth
you
of
when
it.
I was in second grade being traumatized with my Coke bottle?
Probably in second grade with you.
Yeah, right. The classroom over, right.
-8?
I mean, like
bad.
that girl with her glasses.
Yeah.
I think I was like -0.75 or something. Or
You probably saw my glasses and was like, I want to be a vision doctor to help women like her.
But you know, we also do offer now our different materials. So say you were a -8, we can make your lenses thinner with a high index lens.
Yeah, they did not have that technology for me.
how
as a
thick were
child.
they? I just need to know how thick were
I have actually no photos of me in glasses. Like, that's how, yeah.
like this.
But we're moving forward in life, and LASIK has been great. I just have a little dry eye, but Dr. Chandra's going to help me out with that. So we're good to go. Moving forward.
Coming soon. Throwback pics of Rachel.
I do have, Loki, I have a question. What's because I do intake a lot. What the people always say they get the readers. What does that do? Is it just like magnifying? Like
It's for the presbyopia. So that's
That did
for,
not answer her question. She
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay.
The ones that, like the little readers
Yeah,
that
so
you see
that's
at
for
Walgreens.
reading glasses. So after the age of 40, we all need help reading.
oh
And so
Okay.
it's that's why people have readers.
Oh, okay.
okay. I had wondered that. I was like, is that really doing something?
Before we come to a close, I just have one final question. Let's say you're experiencing some vision issues and you don't come in. What's like worst case scenario?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of worst case scenarios, but unfortunately, I've seen a few. I've had some patients who, you know, just thought their vision was blurry, couldn't figure out why, came in 3-4 months later, it's a retinal detachment, right? And it's a little too late in the game to repair it. And I understand that sometimes it can be scary to go see the doctor and you realize your vision is so poor you don't want to find out what's happening, but it's better to come in sooner, get treatment, get the help you can, than later and not be able to have the option of treatment.
Okay, so not next week. You need to go.
And if it was something like retinal detachment, you would have to refer like to a specialist.
Absolutely. So we refer out and we have a great referral team.
Okay.
I do have some questions. This is my last question, I promise. What are like some symptoms of pink eye? Because I know sometimes the little kids get that, and you know
Yes.
they're rubbing and touching, and but like what's something? You know, sometimes people might think, oh, something's in my eye. Oh, I got a hair in my eyes. My eyes irritated or something like
Sure.
that. How would you classify pink eye or?
So as a patient, you wouldn't be able to know immediately. You would really come in to see your eye care provider because if it's just an irritation or a hair, you know, we'll be able to see that right away. We know the signs and symptoms. Is it watery? Is it one eye or both eyes? You know, what is this redness coming from? And it is very contagious. So that's something important to come in and get checked out and get on treatment for.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, I do want to put out there, don't be like me. If you are experiencing any type of irritation or redness, do not go to Google and ask them, will you be blind? Just go ahead and give us a call and come see us.
Schedule your appointment.
Schedule your appointment.
Same day.
Today. Because it is honestly very critical, because when I had my terrible eye infection, the one thing that did help me that the optometrist told me is that I tackled it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wait, 3 days, 4 days. I was in there like...
Something ain't right.
Something I can't see. But before we wrap up, do you have anything that you would like our listeners to know? Any myths, any misconceptions, anything that you would like to reiterate to protect their eyes?
I would like to reiterate, please don't sleep in your contact lenses.
Good one.
Come in to get an exam. The other thing is that people are getting their the biggest issue is people are getting their glasses prescription and using that prescription for contacts. They are two different numbers, two different prescriptions. And don't just, Sean, why are you looking at me? Oh my gosh.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Feels attacked.
So that's where that's part of the contact fitting where you get the contact.
Yes, so you get
two different exams.
Two different exams, two different prescriptions. It's not the same prescription because unfortunately we have people coming in, ordering their contacts online, not the right fit, not good for their eyes, not the right prescription, and they're like, oh, why can't I see? I'm like, did you get your contact lens here?
It's because they're trying to take that shortcut.
The shortcut, yes.
Yes.
Do not take shortcuts when it comes to your eyes.
No, please don't. And, we offer great contacts, competitive pricing, so definitely come in to get your contacts with us.
And glasses, Sean.
And glasses.
And glasses.
We are so honored to have had you today. We learned a lot. I know I did, and I will be scheduling as soon as we wrap this show up.
Me first.
My eyes just got drier and drier as the conversation went on. So I really appreciate all the insight that you provided, and we look forward to our next episode.
And don't forget, guys, you can also schedule online at offeringhope.org, or you can call in and schedule with a specialist. And thank you again, everyone, for listening and watching out there. And just remember, here at St. Hope, you are more than just a number.